is Rolls-Royce's gargantuan SUV, the Cullinan, named after the largest rough-cut diamond ever discovered. And this is surely the jewel in Rolls-Royce's crown. Now, there are plenty of people out there who say that the likes of Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Porsche, Aston Martin, Lamborghini and Ferrari shouldn't be producing SUVs. But there's no doubting the huge commercial success of these types of car. And also we mustn't forget that Rolls-Royce has off-roading heritage. You only have to think back to the First World War and the likes of Lawrence of Arabia storming the desert outside Damascus in his Silver Ghost. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed a few design changes for this Cullinan compared with your bog standard roller, if there is such a thing, such as this beautiful blackened Spirit of Ecstasy and similar treatment for the huge famous grille. That's because this is part of the Black Badge sub-brand for Rolls-Royce, which is really its way of attracting a more younger, more dynamic, more aggressive audience for its cars, and it's working, by the way. The average age of a Rolls-Royce owner across the globe now is a staggering 40 years old. You'll see as we come round, there are huge 22-inch blackened wheels, this black body paintwork, which is just really quite in-your-face aggressive. There are exposed quad exhausts at the back, similarly blackened. But if we have a look inside, that's where it gets really interesting. Now, inside, this lovely mix of the black and the forge yellow that's on the coach line continues. We've got forge yellow leather and matching stitching, which is really nice. There's this technical, unusual carbon weave on the lower half of the dash, and on the upper half, there's box grain leather. Now, the inspiration of this is taken from 1920s Prada luggage, which I just love. And it's the same idea as a patina, that this hard-wearing, very touched surface will age well and will all integrate really nicely. I also like the fact that it's kind of a mixture of utilitarian, practical of a rugged SUV with luxury. I love the fact too that even on the key fob you get the forged yellow, leather and black. That also continues that colour network and pathway on all the leather seats with the Black Badge monogram embroidery. I love the thin black leather steering wheel, and one of the absolute highlights in here, call me a sucker for this kind of thing, but it's the headlining. We've got this star sky at night headlining, which, by the way, you can have configured to any constellation you like. So my star sign is Cancer, I could have the Cancer constellation stitched in there. But this car has got the option of the shooting stars, which is just incredible. You watch this and every few seconds a star glides across the night sky. It's just purely wonderful. The numbers behind the Rolls-Royce Cullinan are, as you'd expect from a Rolls-Royce, truly staggering. This car weighs 2.6 tonnes, and yet it goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 4.9 seconds. That's thanks to Rolls-Royce's world-famous 6.75 litre V12 petrol engine under that enormous bonnet, which develops 600 horsepower and a massive 900 newton meters of torque, which is enough to dig from Goodwood to Australia. But it's not just about lumpy numbers, it's also about the graceful, elegant, timeless nature of a Rolls-Royce. So you have this lovely, thin, large steering wheel, and the steering is just pin sharp in its precision, despite the fact that the car sits on 22-inch wheels. Now, there's no low ratio gearbox or locking diffs on the Rolls-Royce, which means that if you really are going to do some extreme descents or some extreme slippery stuff, you might be better off with a Land Rover. But then you're going to get nowhere near this experience on the road in a Land Rover, so we'd say this is a pretty good compromise. I also love the fact that in true understated, elegant British fashion, there's just a simple button, none of your twirly dials for selecting various off-road terrain response control systems, which gets immensely confusing. You just have a simple button that says off-road. You press it and let the car do the rest. Another clever piece of tech in this car is the Sat-Nav system, a GPS system which reads the road, the terrain ahead and the contours, and adapts the gearbox accordingly. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission in it, and so if it senses you're about to go for hairpins or a climb, it'll drop a cog or two. Nice, clever stuff. Cynics can scoff all they like about the idea of Rolls-Royce building an SUV, but what you cannot argue against is the sheer design and engineering excellence inherent in the Cullinan. This is a world-beating, world-class SUV, and for that reason alone, we love the Cullinan.